Hey, what's going on, guys? Ace John here. Today we're going to be going over the This Week at Bungie for December 10th, 2020, aka the last Twab for 2020. But before we jump into things, I asked that if you want to keep up to date on all Destiny 2 news, information, leaks, and tutorials and discussions, hey, you go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Anyways, let's jump into it. This Week at Bungie, Hawkmoon, Next Gen, and the Dawning. Oh my. So yeah, if you guys were not aware this week, 4 major things happened. The first one being Hawkmoon, which if you want to figure out how to get and my thoughts on, I will have a video linked down below. The second one was a giant next gen patch for console that also included a bunch of bug fixes. I never read it out, but if you guys would like to see the full bug list, I will have a link to that as well in the description down below to the patch notes. The third thing that happened is that there was a major development update article that was posted talking about rewards in Destiny and how they're going to improve on the rewards side going into 2021 and into Witch Queen. And I also did a video on that as well, so if you'd like to see that, it'll be again linked in the description down below. And the final big thing to talk about Destiny in this week was the revealing of the Dawning, which will be sort of the main focus of this video. With that being said, let's get into the Dawning. Now first up here, they end up showing a trailer for the Dawning, which I'll play right about now.
A happy dawning to all! Do not let the recent sorrows dim our celebrating. So, let us party all the harder!
Now with that little trailer out of the way, let's go ahead and actually talk about the event. Now, at least from what Bungie tells us here, it seems like the event is going to be same as always. That being, kill stuff in certain ways or certain enemies to get the ingredients to make cookies to give the characters. Now, there is a bonus community event happening this year with the Dawning, but we'll get into that in a little bit. First, let's talk about the brand new fusion rifle, the Glacioclasm. Now, originally, Ginsor on his Twitter did end up leaking this fusion rifle. Originally, it's going to be called the Chilibian, but it seems it's been renamed to the Glacioclasm. Although, in terms of at least perks and stats and everything, it seems like it's still going to be similar to the Air Intel fusion rifle. Now, currently at the moment, we don't know what the perks are going to be, so we're going to have to wait till the database is updated on reset on Tuesday. But hopefully, if this ends up running with similar perks to Air Intel, this should be a very good fusion rifle to keep an eye out for. Although when it comes to making a video on it, you guys will have to let me know down below. I'm unsure at the moment, but I'm thinking about it. But anyways, moving on into Twab. As you are flying around delivering baked goods, you'll need a new ship to spread cheer and style. Eva has a new exotic ship that you'll be able to upgrade throughout the event to change its look. You'll be able to customize the engine streams, different spawn effects, and unlock a new animated unique shader to the ship. Eva has also set up a fun new celebration for this year's Dawning that involves even more gifts for you. As the community generates Dawning spirit by completing activities, you will be able to progress a special community pursuit with the cookie skills and then find new gifts waiting for you under the tree. The big glowy one, you can't miss it. We don't want to spoil all the surprises, but you may find some upgrade materials in these gifts. And I really hope these gifts end up evolving some Ascendant shards, cause I'm running a little low at the moment. Anyways, there will also be some fun stuff at the Eververse store as well. All the new items added to the store will be available at some point for Bright Dust, with the exception of the Glee Barrage and Merrymaker weapon ornaments, and Happy Trail Finisher, which will be available for silver only. Ooh, ouch. Yeah, that sucks for anyone who was hoping to get those Xenophage ornament and Monte Carlo ornament, because man, that Monte Carlo one was pretty killer. Too bad it's silver only. They also have a bunch of press images here, which they also have on their website. If you want to see them, they'll be in the Twab in the link in the description down below. Anyways, moving on. Next up, we got a surprise hotfix that's coming next week. Shortly after launch, we put out a hotfix to reel in Stasis a bit. When we made these changes, we wanted them to have as much efficacy as possible, and that meant using broad strokes to cover a lot of ground. This led to us hitting Penumbral Blast range harder than many players felt was necessary, aka the Stasis Warlock melee if you're not really informed. Upon review and hearing the feedback, we felt that while Penumbral's blast range needed to come in, there is room to push it back out and have it feel more consistent when hitting targets at range. Here's a preview of the patch notes coming in a hotfix next week. Penumbral Blast, the projectile range was increased by 37%. The minimum distance to cast ranged melee reduced by 32%. This allows you to throw the ranged melee closer to targets. And I'm glad they partially reverted part of this change because I did feel like it was a little too harsh on the Warlock, as it did get a speed projectile reduction, and that range nerf was just, man, that was just too much, so it's good that they're reverting some of this. Next up is in regards to the Bungie Games to Give Lightkeepers charity event, and so far in the event, they have reached $1 million, meaning every $50,000 milestone they hit, they will do a guest lore reading, and as you can see on screen now, it's going to be done by the following people. But I will say, interesting enough, they have 2 non-Destiny characters in there. Interesting. Anyways, moving on, we got some reports from the player support team. First up is that they're investigating some connection server issues that have been happening since the update that went live on Tuesday, December 8th. Next up, in regards to the Trials of Osiris reward schedule, it seems like Trials is expected to return on December 18th, and due to the delay of Trials, a few changes were made to the reward schedule. So during the first 4 weeks, the Flawless chest will drop an adept weapon, and the 5th week will drop an armor piece, with subsequent weeks switching the rewards back and forth between adept weapons and armor, as previously mentioned in a Twab. And adept weapon mods will drop each week as previously planned. Next up is an update to the issue with the PS4 friends list. It appears that this issue is going to be fixed in the hotfix next week on December 14th. It also seems that Xbox Series X and S freezing is going to be fixed on December 14th as well. And last Friday there is a issue with Vesper of Radius, and they had to disable it, but it seems like that'll be fixed on another hotfix on December 17th. And in regards to Spoils of Conquest disappearing when you put it in your vault, they're apparently still investigating it, and just as a side note, do not put the Spoils of Conquest in your vault, as it will instantly delete the entire stack, so don't do that. And as always, it seems like there's an ungodly amount of bugs that are currently being tracked. If you'd like to see the full list, again, the Twab will be linked in the description down below. With that being said, that brings us to the movies and the artists of the week, and again, like I just said, Twab will be linked in the description down below if you'd like to view those. At the end of the Twab, as a reminder, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this is the last Twab of the year, and the Twabs will be on a short hiatus. But that does not mean that Bungie is not working on things, and as always, they are listening when it comes to feedback. So if you still have feedback or bug concerns, etc., Bungie will be still there listening. As a side note, they do go on to state that the Deepstone Crypt raid challenges are actually going live next week, meaning the Deepstone Crypt title seal will be acquirable by January 5th. But before we close out the video here, I'd like to go over a minor leak and a exclusive reward that you can get from the Bungie rewards. So starting off with the exclusive reward that you can actually get through the Bungie rewards, if you complete the New Light intro and Tower intro quest, you can actually acquire the exclusive Second Chance emblem for the Bungie rewards, and you'll have till October 31st of 2021 to acquire it, so you have quite a bit of long time to do it. It's a pretty nice looking emblem. And the leak that we'll be ending the video off with comes from Ginsor, and he data mined the game and found out that the next season, season 13, is going to be called Season of the Chosen. But yeah, anyways, that wraps up the video. This was Ace Trainer John, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.